What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anthony and this is Watch With Me. Today we're going to be doing kind of my thoughts and almost a review of the new Omega Speedmaster 321, a much anticipated watch that I think we've all been kind of waiting for this steel version to come out ever since last year when they introduced the platinum version. Before we get into that topic, I'm sure you can tell I'm kind of excited about this watch. A wristwatch check, and today I am wearing my Breitling Navitimer. This is an 806 from the 1960s, not the reissue. It does have the beads of rice bezel, and it's one of my favorite chronographs ever made. And you can actually pick these up pre-owned on the vintage market, pretty reasonably priced, I think, in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, all the way up to $15,000 if you're going with like a Value 72. But enough of my watch. Let's get into the topic. Alright, so the Omega Caliber 321, aka the Ed White, was introduced on the first Speedy Tuesday of a new decade in 2020. I was super excited to see this back in 2019 when Omega released that they would be creating the 321 movement and they put it in their platinum piece. I was super excited, but a very high price point, a limited production. I knew I was never going to get that watch, but from the moment I saw that watch, I was hoping that they would come out with a steel model, and as of yesterday, I got a chance to see it, and I am blown away. I love the fact that they didn't go too crazy. They saw an amazing product, and they decided to just recreate it. Obviously with a few updates, but some things in the watch that they're paying homage to the real collector out there. Things they're paying homage to for the real collector, like the dot over 90. The dot over 90, there's certain early editions of the Speedmaster where the dot over the 90 on the tachometer bezel, it's just a slight detail, and they tend to go for a much higher price point versus the dot slightly to the right. I love the fact that they kept it in an under 40 millimeter case size. The traditional one was under 40. This one is 39.7, so identical case size to the original. I love the fact that they did do an update. They made it a sapphire crystal front and a sapphire crystal case back, as well as a ceramic bezel. These are updates that I think don't take away from it being a recreation, but actually elevate it. And the fact that they remastered this movement. The movement is exactly the same, except for instead of copper, they're using rose gold to coat the main plate of the watch, which I think is spectacular. Now, the nickname Ed White, for the astronaut that wore this on the first space mission in 1965, the mission was the Gemini 4. He did actually later on die in 1967 with two other astronauts on a mission, but this watch kind of nicknamed the Ed White, and you know what? I think it's a spectacular piece. It's already one of my favorite watches for 2020, but then again, it's only been 7 days. When Omega went ahead and did the trilogy set a couple years ago, I was obsessed with the Speedmaster that they came out with. I thought the bracelet fit perfect. I love the smaller case size, and now here we are. We have that identical specs of the watch with that beautiful bracelet. I just think it's an absolute home run. Now, the big thing that everyone's talking about, other than how beautiful this watch is the price. It is 13,000 Swiss francs, which equals to around 14,000 US. It is a lot of money, and it really puts it up against the top of the chronograph market. Obviously, people are going to automatically put it up against the Rolex Daytona, which after the price increase, it's around 13,000. It's still less than this new Omega, but it is going to put it up there, so we have to compare it against that watch. Now, I do think that this is a more important watch, the Omega, and it's designed better than the Daytona, but let's face it, with the Daytona name, it's gonna require a premium, and it's gonna achieve that premium. I think that this watch is priced extremely well, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, this watch, all the movements are being assembled, timed, and regulated by one watchmaker. Now, not one watchmaker is making every watch, but one watchmaker is going to be dedicated to each movement. So when you get your watch, you know that one watch, that one movement has been assembled and regulated and timed by one person. That takes a lot of time and effort. This is something that Rolex isn't doing. Most of the Rolex pieces are being manufactured by machine, put together by machine. There is a certain artistry that I can appreciate that one person is putting together a movement. And I think that's really special, and that's another reason why this watch is $14,000. Not to mention, it's a new case size, it's a new movement, obviously a recreation of the Lemania 321, but a new movement. It's just, when you really think about it, this is why this watch is $14,000. I also think that this is going to be the first Omega to really require a premium on the secondary market and hold it, because from what I hear, they're only going to be producing around 1,000 watches a year. It's not a limited edition, but being that they're all going to be assembled by one watchmaker at a time, it's really going to cut the production down quite a bit on this. And this is important for the brand, because if this watch can retain a higher value than its retail value, it's going to be kind of like a trickle down theory where people might not be able to get this particular watch, but they're going to start buying, you know, a Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon or the Speedmaster Professional, and it's going to really help the brand. Omega's always been one of those brands that I really respect, and I think they make amazing product, but they've never really grabbed that market like Rolex has in terms of retaining value and being held in that kind of godlike prestige. And I think that this watch could be the right watch to put them on track to kind of get there. That's really it. I wish I had hands-on experience with this watch, but once I get my hands on it, I will film something and show it to you guys. I would love to know in the comments down below, what do you think of the watch? What's your first reaction to it? Do you think it's too small? Do you think it's overpriced? Tell me, I would love to know. Let's start a dialogue down below. But that's really going to be it, guys. I hope you liked the video. I am so excited for this watch. I'm probably not going to be getting it for a while, but I can guarantee you one day I will own this watch. But that's it, guys. Until next time, take it easy.